Welcome to the Hustle Wing podcast. Today we are joined by Scott Lawrence, the founder of Locksmith. He's going to chat to us today about his idea, his pitch, and we're going to get to know him and a little bit about his company. So, thank you so much for taking the time to meet with me today, Scott. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. I don't know when things will air, but we're right before Christmas. Everybody's getting ready to
Yeah.
relax and check out, and so I'm excited for that. So
Yeah.
doing great.
Awesome. Awesome. So tell me, what is Locksmith? What is the idea?
Well, I've worked in a number of different companies. I've been brought in as the person that tries to clean up a problem that I keep seeing a lot, and it's called a key man problem.
Okay.
And you have some company that begins building a thing, or there's some smart guy who starts something, or smart gal. They do all the work themselves. They build this big monolith, um, and then they leave. And then there's maybe some documentation, or there's not some documentation. And then the company finds itself in this position where nobody knows how to run this, monolith that's been built, or you know, fix it, take care of it. And so what they end up having is this situation where either they are kind of held captive by somebody who knows a lot of stuff and has a lot of institutional knowledge, or that person leaves regardless and they are trying to scramble and backfill. They're hiring consultants to come in and like, hey, why are all of our data jobs failing? Go figure it out. Very
Yeah.
expensive. Those poor folks don't know. And so I have been I just kind of found my way into being the person that like comes and fixes these, like, hey, so and so built it and they left.
Yeah.
And the recurring theme that I find there is there's a lot of best practice, but there's a whole lot of information that is either written down and it's
Hmm.
very difficult to find where it is or keep track of it, or gets outdated very quickly. So
Yeah.
the idea of Locksmith is it is a insurance against a key man. You can break back into your systems, you can have your systems. And what we mean
Okay.
by that is not literally security, but when you are going through all this documentation, it's really difficult to figure out, if you can even find it,
Hmm.
where the right piece of information is for this particular problem you're having. So we
Yeah.
use LLMs to pre-aggregate PDFs, images. Um, some tools like DBT will actually give you an output of their data systems, and so you can have models and maps. It's a
Yeah.
lot of information. We collect all of that, we organize that, and then you can ask, why is my blah 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 failing? It
Hmm.
combines combinations of best practice information, the API documentations available for the various tools you're using, as well as any documentation it's found, and gives you a recommendation on what to do or how to fix it, or how your business specifically has designed a particular solution. So it's meant to be more of a in-house specific LLM solution so that you can get through training, troubleshooting, all that stuff a lot faster than trying to keep track of documentation all over the place.
Okay, okay, I love it. I feel like if you guys came up with this a year ago, you would have really helped me out. Because I've been in that situation where you kind of go into something and you're like, "What am I doing? What was the
Yep.
last person doing?"
I joined a place and I noticed it was that thing. I was like, okay, that's this place. And then I noticed another and then another. And I was like, well, it must be where I'm going. And then I talk to people who are like, yeah, that happens everywhere. So that's sort of the hope, is that we can solve that sort of like one person built and left, and
Yeah.
make it easy. So yeah.
Awesome, awesome, cool. So then, so you kind of touched on it, but what's your story? How did you come up with it?
Yeah, so I began my career in advertising and marketing, and really liked that. I migrated later into data analytics.
Hmm.
And I went back to school and got my master's in data science. And so I've been very interested in the ML and the AI and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Roll the clock forward, and now we have open AI and large language models, and everybody's very excited. Like, how do we get in front of AI?
Yeah.
Um, I sort of have been in that world for a while, and I'm a little less starstruck by how magic it is, still a
Yeah.
little bit. But what I instantly wanted to do was, the boom of AI to me felt like machine learning 10 years ago, or
Mm,
even crypto. There's a lot of hype, But what I have wanted to do is find a way, like, what is the real value that this thing does? What capability does this unlock that we haven't had? Nobody
Yeah.
needs more chat bots. What they
Mhm.
need is a way to do a thing they couldn't do before. So,
Yes.
I currently am full time employed at another organization. This is my side hustle.
Yeah.
And I work with some very smart PhDs and some other folks, and we've been developing this out of need for our own team. We have a very
Mm.
complicated system, and the company wasn't really that interested. They said, it's fine. We don't want this. And we said, okay, we're going to go build this on the weekend, you guys. And so that's where
Yeah.
we've started. We have been staying top of mind with all the developments in AI space, and we're
Okay.
building to solve an actual problem that we have. And we're finding other people like, ooh, can I try it? Can I have it? So
Yeah.
that's sort of where we're at. We're it's very still early, but we're solving a real thing, and we're finding product market fit faster than we thought we might. So it's kind of cool.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Nice. So how long have you been working on Locksmith for?
Uh, this is, I've been working with some of these guys on some similar AI issues. This is
Yeah.
the one that seems to have clicked fairly quickly. It's not that
Okay.
old. We've been building prototypes in the last few months,
Okay.
and we're still very early stages in it. So
Yeah. Okay, awesome. Awesome. And then yeah, what's your vision for Locksmith? Where do you see it going?
yeah, my hope is that we find this. We find a few people in the next 6 months to a year that are willing to kind of beta test it, help us refine actually what they need.
Yeah.
Something I found is that people that are doing this, I'm going to build stuff and I'm going to be the only one that knows. Part of it is like there's people that they mean well, and
Mm.
they're just maybe not being so thoughtful about the person behind them. There's other people that kind of do it on purpose, and they know that, oh, if I'm the only one here. So
Yeah.
so that's, we also wonder about the name Locksmith, because that person is going to resist this, is not going to help
Mm.
feed it. So we may find the right way to present this so that a team, it's like, hey, we're going to improve your training.
Yeah.
Also, we have all the information that if you left, we could still, run the system. But
Yeah.
um, we want to find the place to dial that message in. If we
Mm.
find a reasonable product market fit with the balance of how we present it to customers, we want to start selling and scaling and growing. I've been
Yeah.
in the startup world in a number of different startups, some still going, some not. And I love that first initial takeoff, and that's where we want to get to and keep growing from there. So.
Awesome. Awesome. Cool. So yeah, since you're still in the prototype phase, what are your challenges at the moment?
Yeah. One of the things that we are finding, and I think much larger companies are finding as well,
Mm.
um, our product specifically targets data systems which are very risky with PII and security, and there
Yeah.
are a lot of hurdles to go through with GDPR and CCPA. So there's a lot of hesitancy to let, even open AI touch any of your internal systems. A lot of
True.
companies are having policies about you're not allowed to use AI, or don't let our code go to AI. And we're kind of saying, hey, give us all the code. So our big challenge right now is finding a way to be in a kind of walled garden that allows people to trust us and
Yeah.
actually is truly safe. We can't just fire off to OpenAI and hope it's all
Yeah.
right. Um,
Yeah.
we need to make an environment that is secure and still as capable and functional as OpenAI, but actually is run ourselves in quarantine so that people know that it's fine if they share their
Yeah.
data. We're not going to try to re-engineer what your product is. We just want
Yeah.
you to be able to re-engineer your product. So that's our biggest challenge, is being able to replicate the capabilities that you would get at a larger scale thing in a closed system. And I think
Yeah.
the other piece we're working on is every new type of content that you want to ingest, you need to have a way to do that. So if it's PDFs,
Mm.
we're working on like, hey, just connect it to a Google Drive and it'll slurp up all that stuff. So we're trying to make sure that we have enough adapters so that it is actually
Yeah.
useful for enough folks.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I'm sure there's so many different types of like information. I don't want to say documents, but information that would be fed into it, because there's video tutorials, there's video meetings, there's PDF documents, Google Sheets, there's Excel,
It,
Word, spreadsheets. Like there's everything.
there is, and the thing I find most often, like if there was a company that had a really nice, organized Confluence board and everything was well documented, we still have some value to add there. But where this really feels like it'd serve the market best is, I don't know, here's a departed user Google Drive. That person left. I don't know, it's in there. Here you go, new guy. Here's a bunch of emails from finance last year. Figure that out. So I think for this to be successful, we kind of need to be just like the dumpster bin that catches all the stuff
Yeah,
and then sorts it out. So the more things that we can let people throw at us and then actually put into the right place, that's where this is going to add value. And so that's what we're still, there's ways to do that, but you have to make sure that you're able to address a bunch of different locations and types and that sort of
yeah.
stuff. So we're working on that still.
Yeah, I'm so excited. Like, honestly, I'm just thinking about how lost I was this time last year and how helpful this would have been and how many tabs I have. Like, if I, when you, because I work in a startup and we're very small, still very new. So it's just like bookmarks and tabs of like
All
different.
If I close this screen, I'll never see it again, right? Like, yeah, I know the feeling. I also have some of those running, but wouldn't it be cool if there was a Chrome extension that said, hey, send this to Locksmith, and Locksmith
Yeah,
actually has that page. They scrape it, they add it to the database, and then now that's another piece that you can draw on of like, wow, I should come back and look at this. That's
yeah,
actually feasible in the world of LLMs and AI now, which is pretty cool.
yeah.
So yeah.
Awesome, awesome, cool. All right, so then lastly, what sort of assistance would you like from our community of hustlers? Are you looking for sort of any collaborations or anything like that?
Yeah, like I said, I have a background in data science. I write Python. I have various pieces of the technical expertise under lock. What I don't have, I'm
Mm-hmm.
not a very good front end UI graphic. I married a graphic designer, and I do the numbers, and she does the colors, and
Yeah.
so would certainly need some ways. I respect the importance of good UI. I'm not the
Hmm.
best person to make that happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, I do have a background in marketing, but I'm also
Okay.
pretty far removed from how that works. So I know good marketing when I see it. I know good
Yeah.
branding when I see it. I'm not
Yeah.
probably the best one to invent it.
Yes.
So so people that help me get the skin on this kind of idea and help kind of drive this path to market. All
Yeah.
of my partners are like engineering kind of dorky guys. You want to build a cool robot, but somebody needs to make it, actually presentable to the world and accessible
Yeah.
and that sort of thing. So that's where we probably need the most help and hope, is to close that prettification part, let's say.
Okay. Okay, cool. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time, Scott. Thank you for sharing Locksmith with me. And yeah, I like I said, for the third time, I love it. So I can't wait until it's up and running because I trust me, I'm there.
Awesome, awesome. Well, thank you so much for the time. It was great chatting, and yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much. We'll connect again soon.
Yeah, appreciate it. Bye.
Bye. Awesome.